Today we're on the Majesty of the Seas. So lunchtime on the Majesty of the Seas, and we're back in the Windjammer, one of the favorite places on the cruise ship, of course. And, the more I look at this, the more I am kind of reminiscent of the differences in the Windjammer between all of the different classes of ships. Because over the years, my wife and I have been on pretty much all of the different classes. This is one of the smaller ones, of course, the Majesty of the Seas, pretty small ship. Later in the year, last year, after this cruise, we did the Alaska cruise on the Ovation of the Seas. And of course, it had a completely different layout for the Windjammer, bigger and everything. Our favorite class of ship is the Oasis class. We've been on the Allure, we've been on the Oasis of the Seas. We're scheduled to go on the Harmony of the Seas in July of 2020, but with all this COVID-19 stuff, that's still up in the air. I'm putting this video together March 28th, 2020, and this particular cruise happened in May of 2019, so there's just so much footage, it takes me a while to get through it all. And I'm looking at this footage of the Windjammer, and I'm trying to picture what the Windjammer on the Majesty of the Seas looks like right now, because of course we're in this shutdown period where all of Royal Caribbean cruise ships have been grounded basically until May the 12th of 2020. And it's just, it's a little sad to see, but, because you think back to, if you've ever been on one of these cruises, you think back to like the cruise and you're always looking forward to going on the next one. If you've never done a cruise, this gives you an idea of what it's like and something to look forward to. And the cruise industry right now with the COVID stuff is definitely going through a rough time. So, I absolutely hope that they kind of get back to normal. But I've mentioned in previous videos about the Windjammer and about the Majesty of the Seas kind of in general. It's a smaller ship, and it's what I would call a cozy ship, right? They make very, very good use of the space that they have available. And one of the cool things about this Windjammer is that it's essentially sort of a two-story, where you have Sorrento's with the pizza and everything as the second story of the Windjammer. So you can get your food down here and then go up the steps and eat upstairs, or vice versa if you wanted to. You could get the pizza from upstairs and then come downstairs and eat. This right here was a huge cake that they had put together for all of the guests. This is the last day of the cruise. It was only like a little 4-night cruise out of Fort Lauderdale. Right after we left port, the next morning we were in Key West. Then the next morning after that, we were in Havana, Cuba. This was back when the cruise ships could still go to Cuba. And then we had a day at sea, which is what this is. And then the next morning, we're back into Fort Lauderdale. So this is our day at sea. It's the, sort of the end of the cruise. And so it's lunchtime. And so they put together this huge cake, for everybody to enjoy. And it was very, very good, I must say. But back to my point, the Windjammer is very cozy. The whole ship is kind of cozy. Very, very good use of space. It's a dated ship. You can tell from some of the furnishings. It goes through dry dock every 5 years, just like all of the ships do. I have no idea what the dry dock schedule is. So when we were on this May of 2019 cruise, I don't know if it had just come out of a dry dock, within the last year before that or whatever. I don't know if it's about to go into one, but it's the ship has been around quite a while, and I think the primary reason that Royal Caribbean probably kept the ship was because of the Cuba stuff. But the thing is, now that even the cruise ships have been barred from going to Cuba, Royal Caribbean just kind of shifted it around. They still send it, or at least this is when all the passengers were still on there from the COVID stuff. They were still sending it to Key West quite a bit. I think it's going to go out of... I think they were going to move the ship over to like New Orleans and have it go out of there. They still have plans for the ship. It still makes a lot of trips over to Cozumel, over, the Mexican, the Yucatan Peninsula, Cozumel, and everything like that. So it's an older ship, but it probably still makes them a lot of money. It's still, pretty popular. So it's just a cute little comfortable ship, It has a very unique layout for Windjammer, for Boleros, all the different areas of the ship. They're very unique in terms of the layout. I think the only other ship in the fleet that is similar to this one is probably the Empress of the Seas. you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever a new video is posted. So as you've seen in this video here, we're just kind of wandering around checking out all of the different aspects of the Windjammer. And the cruise before this one for us would have been the Oasis of the Seas in 2017. So we had gone we'd gone about a year and a half, almost 2 full years between cruises, primarily because we went to Germany in 2018. So we were sort of doing kind of an alternating thing there. But the last ship that we had been on prior to this one, actually the last couple of ships were the Oasis. And so we had that fresh in our head in terms of the layout and the amenities and things like that. So it was sort of a comparison of like, on the Oasis class ships, this is the layout, this is in the Windjammer you find this and this and this. And so we're looking at that. We're looking at the Windjammer on the Majesty through that lens. We're about to venture over into Johnny Rockets, which is this upper level that's kind of in the back corner of the Majesty. And I will say that on every single one of the cruises we've done on Royal Caribbean, we have never been to a Johnny Rockets. Nothing against Johnny Rockets. It's just one of those things. We've just never done it. I don't know. I guess when I'm on a cruise ship, the last thing I want is like a little hamburger, when there's so much other food available. So we've just never done it. This we were just kind of checking it out just out of curiosity's sake.
When you come up the stairs. Remember when you come up the stairs. Well, you're above the
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you gave it a like. To see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever a new video is posted.